Disbursement of NREGS wages through post offices. The National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme commenced with effect from 2nd February 2006 in order to generate assured employment opportunities to the rural poor and to enhance the natural resource base and rural livelihood security. Initially, the scheme was launched in 200 backward districts in India, followed by 137 more districts from 1st April 2007 onwards, and the entire country since 1st April 2008. The main objective of NREGS is to provide at least 100 days of guaranteed wage employment in a financial year to each household in rural areas, whose adult members volunteer to do unskilled manual work. The Department of Posts entered into an MOU with the Government of Andhra Pradesh to disburse NREGS wages on time to the beneficiaries right in their own village through the Post Office Savings Bank accounts. As post offices are spread in all villages, including in the remotest corners in the country, this came as a boon to the daily wage earners who receive wages promptly through transparent method, avoiding any scope for corruption. Opening of savings bank accounts in branch post offices or sub-post offices. The branch postmasters and the sub-postmaster receive the lists of registered workers of each village in the mandal or block from the state government's field functionaries. The Mandal Pradesh Development Officer, that is the MPDO, generates village-wise list of registered workers along with the following details: job card number, age, village name, Gram Panchayat, etc. The list is mapped to levels of post offices and has the name of the village, name of the branch post office, name of the sub-post office with PIN code, and name of the head post office with PIN code. The Gram Rozgar Sahayak, or the field assistant, hired by the state government, provides necessary assistance and guidance to the workers in approaching the branch post office located in the village or in the neighboring village, and the concerned sub-post office for opening of savings bank accounts. Now, the SB3 application form for opening the SB account is duly filled in through introduction, 2 slips of specimen signatures of the wage seeker or attestation of his or her left thumb impressions. The BPM ensures that the SB3 card contains the signature of the field assistant as introducer. For opening the SB account, the following are noted on top of SB3 application: the job card number, date of issue of job card, and the date of expiry of job card. The branch postmaster or sub-postmaster or head postmaster verifies and certifies the particulars of job card as mentioned in SB3 and compares it with the job card shown at the time of opening of account. The specimen signature slips of the job card holders are obtained as required in the case of SB accounts. The NREGS SB accounts are opened without any initial deposit. The branch postmaster or the BPM accepts these applications along with specimen signature slips from the workers without any initial deposit. The BPM issues preliminary receipt to the wage seeker in token of having received the application for opening the NREGS SB account. The branch postmaster forwards all the SB3 cards and the list of workers along with their specimen signature slips to the sub-post office SO with an entry in the BO daily account on the date of receipt itself. The sub-postmaster liaises with the BO and the rural development officials to ascertain the approximate number of savings bank SB accounts to be opened in different BOs under the SO, as well as directly in the SO itself. By indenting well in advance, the SPM should constantly maintain the required amount of forms and stationery for opening of SB accounts. The SPM opens SB accounts on the same day of receipt of applications by allotting account numbers, making entries in the logbook and ledgers. He prepares the SB passbook with details like name of the account holder, address, job card number, nomination and date of opening. For NREGS SB accounts, only the block account numbers given by the head post office for each SO are to be utilized by the SPM. Registration of nomination as mentioned in the SB3 application will be done by the HO. The SPM ensures that the allotted SB account numbers are noted against each name in the list of workers received for opening the SB account and returns the same along with passbooks to the BPM concerned after entering in the BO slip. Immediately on receipt of passbooks from the SO, the BPM delivers them to the account holders and passes on the list with SB account names to the field assistant for inclusion in the MPDO computerized database. The time frame for delivery of passbooks to the wage seekers is 3 days from the date of receipt of applications in the BO. The SB accounts opened are governed by the POSB rules. However, some of the exceptions are: the NREGS SB accounts are not to be treated as silent. Checkbook facility is not applicable to these accounts. A single account can be opened by any of the registered adult members of a household whose names are mentioned in the job card. For example, if there are 4 adult registered members in a job card, each one can open individual single accounts by giving the same job card number. Only individual accounts are to be opened for NREGS wage payment. These accounts are non-transferable. No deposit other than NREGA wages can be made in these accounts. Receipt of pay orders or wage bills by the BO. The MPDO prepares the wage list or pay orders for the NREGS works undertaken in his jurisdiction. He forwards to the field assistant 5 copies of the pay orders or wage lists to the SPM by arranging them village, BO and or SO wise along with the check for the total wage amount in each wage list. Each pay order or wage list contains name of the wage earner, POSB account number, amount of wages to be credited to his or her account, the name of the village, its BO, SO with PIN code will be indicated on the top of the list. The disposal of 5 copies of the pay orders or wage lists is as follows. 1 copy is returned by the SPM to the field assistant duly acknowledging receipt of the list and by affixing the receipt date stamp on it. This should be done on the same day of receipt. The second copy is retained for record in the SO. 2 copies of the wage list are sent to the concerned BPM by making an entry in the BO slip on the same day. The last copy of the wage list along with the relevant checks is sent to head post office along with the list of SB transactions. The HO immediately remits those checks in the bank and obtains credit for the relevant amounts without delay. The SBM simultaneously takes action to credit the wage amounts to the respective SB accounts or the wage earners in the SB ledgers, without waiting for clearance of check in view of the initial deposit made by the state government. At the BO, the BPM displays one copy of the wage list in the post office notice board and pastes the other copy in the BO SB journal in red ink. This indicates that wages as per the wage list were deposited by the state government at the SO level. The BPM should not accept any pay order or check directly from the state government. Flow of cash from the state government to the post office, that is, wage amounts as per the wage list. The state government makes one-time deposit of an amount equal to the average monthly wages paid in the district headquarters. The following checks are made with reference to the checks presented by the state government. Check contains signature of the authorized signatory. Check is not post-dated. Check is issued in favor of the designated postmaster of the concerned post office. Check does not contain any alterations, and if there is any alteration or correction, the same is attested by the authorized signatory with his signature. The divisional office should monitor very closely the cash flow arrangements in order to arrange prompt payments to the wage seekers. By remitting cash in the cash bag on the same day or through special carrier from HO. By authorizing the SPM to draw sufficient cash from the bank where the SO has an account. By authorizing the SPMs to draw sufficient cash from the nearest cash office. For the purpose of arranging cash for NREGS wage payments, dynamic line limits should be followed. In other words, whatever may be the prescribed line limits, on the days of wage payments, higher amounts can be transmitted and arranged as per actual wage payment requirements. Nodal officers should ensure disbursement of cash in respect of all withdrawals in time and in a smooth manner, without giving scope for any complaint or grievance. Withdrawals. The individual wage earner can withdraw the amount by submission of withdrawal form, that is, SB7 form, passbook, and also the wage slip issued by the MPDO. The wage slip should be attached with the SB7 form and treated as part of voucher. The entire amount of wages credited by the state government in the NREGS SB account or part thereof can be withdrawn by the wage earners from the NREGS SB account. No minimum balance need to be maintained in such accounts. The head postmaster or the SPM should make cash arrangements on the assumption that all wage earners in the wage list will withdraw the wages from the NREGS SB accounts on the first day itself or on the next day. Once the weekly wage lists and cash are received in the post office, at least 200 wage payments should be made on each day. Where there are likely to be over 200 withdrawals, the same may be staggered over a period of 2 or 3 days. All payments should be completed within 3 days from the date of receipt of the wage list. Immediately on receipt of cash from the SO or through special carriers, the BPM makes payments to the wage earners. He verifies their application for withdrawal, passbook, wage slip, and wage earner's identity, etc. before making the wage payment. The wage earner should produce the wage slip issued by the MPDO, which indicates the amount of wages he earned that fortnight or week. The BPM compares the wages due to the wage earner as per the wage list and the wage slip produced by him before allowing the withdrawal. Payment should be made only to the wage earner. Divisional heads should issue standing authorization or instructions that the BPM allows withdrawals even beyond Rs 2,000 per account on such occasions as required for NREGS wage payments purposes. Details of all withdrawals should be recorded in the SB Journal of the BO in usual course, and the total amount paid on that day should be included in the SB withdrawals on the payment side of BO account and BO daily account, etc., duly supported by warrants of payments, etc. The BPM clearly indicates cash received for EGS payments, withdrawals allowed on the day, balance of cash available with him, and immediate liabilities to be met on the next day with details in the BO account and on the reverse of the BO daily account. Certain do's and don'ts for making wage payments are: the withdrawal form should not be filled in by the BPM or SPM under any circumstances. Pre-signed blank withdrawal forms should not be accepted. The amount should be paid only to the concerned wage earner directly by the BPM. Under no circumstances, wage amounts should be paid to the group leader or to the field assistant or any others. The passbooks should be returned to the wage earners and should not be retained by the BPM under any circumstances. Closure of accounts. The NREGS SB accounts should not be closed without authorization of the concerned program officer. As and when intimation with regard to deletion of name of wage seeker from the job card list is received from state government, he or she may be given option to close the SB account. If the account is not closed within 30 days of the receipt of intimation, the account is closed by the postmaster himself by filling a withdrawal form for the amount available in the account along with interest if any. The amount then will be remitted to the wage earner by money order after deducting the MO commission. Operations at the head post office. The HO should immediately remit all the NREGS checks received from SOs and at its own counters to the concerned bank. The postmaster should keep a close watch on the date of clearance of each check through the register of checks received and sent for clearance. The HO should ensure up-to-date feeding of data on the India Post website for monitoring the delays in receipt of pay orders from the state government and wage payments. The HO should also maintain the ledgers up to date. Monitoring. All the post offices dealing with the scheme should furnish to the divisional nodal officer the daily statement on opening of new SB accounts under NREGS, monthly statement on new SB accounts opened under NREGS, monthly statement on additional expenditure incurred on the scheme. The forms and stationery required for NREGS SB accounts include the SB3 cards, specimen signature book, passbooks, withdrawal forms, etc. Complaints or grievances in respect of opening of NREGS SB accounts, making wage deposits and withdrawals should be dealt with on priority basis by the BPM, SPM, head postmaster, subdivisional officers and divisional nodal officer and redressed immediately. The NREG Act envisages conduct of social audit for public scrutiny of the implementation processes. The areas of concern thrown up by social audits should be addressed for improving the implementation of NREGS both by the state government and the Department of Posts.